Hey guys. So recently we've been doing functional medicine group series with a different topic of discussion every week. And this week we talked about how to optimize our immune health. Very timely with heading into the winter season, a lot of temperature swings and a lot more people being vulnerable to illness. So what are some natural ways that we can keep ourselves from either getting sick or to speed up recovery and have a better chance to nip it in the bud early so we don't have to deal with being down and out? So, one of the things that we really focused on was the stress disease connection, which we're learning more and more about. But the fact that when the body is responding to stress, it produces cortisol and it cannot coincidingly fight off illness. So, the immune system and the stress response do not work well together. And in fact, when the body is producing cortisol, it shuts down that immune response and some other critical components of the body. So, people that live with chronic stress tend to be sick more often. So that's why it's so important, first of all, to limit the amount of stress you're taking on. But obviously, stress is inevitable at times. So, how are we managing stress so that it is not taking a toll on us or causing us to be physically ill? So, that was one of the things. We also looked at how to use food as medicine and food as an immune booster. Looking at foods that are high in ORAC, which is oxygen radical absorbance capacity. I had to check that one again. It's a newer term for me. And so those are those antioxidants that are basically able to go in and absorb or eat up free radicals. I kind of think of them as like little Pac-Men in our body that are trying to eat up anything that could be harmful to us and eradicate that through the source of food. So that could be like berries, blueberries, raspberries, or dark chocolate is actually highest on the ORAC scale in the foods that we researched this morning, which is pretty incredible. We all love dark chocolate. So we're looking, of course, though, like a dark chocolate with a 70% or higher cacao content with not a lot of added sugar. But that can be incredible to help boost your immune system. Or also using different seasonings and spices like ginger or oregano or things like ginseng. There's a lot of options there. Pecans is another one. Kind of looking down at the list here to give you guys some other ideas. Goji berries, wild blueberries, more wild berries in particular. And cilantro you can add on your salads. Other things, it's cool because these are smaller foods you can consume in a smoothie, or you could put on a salad or use as a spice or seasoning. And then also we looked at supplementation. So, one of the more popular supplements for immune health is elderberry, or some people like to use echinacea. Elderberry actually could be consumed as food as well, or you could take it as the syrup form. Again, try to find the elderberry syrup that doesn't have the added sugar, because that is something that's pretty common. Or the gummies. I find that people take the gummies, they're not experiencing as good of results as a more pure form in supplementation. Because again, the gummies can have additives. I saw one earlier today that had vegetable oil, supplement with vegetable oil. So that's not something we want to consume. What are some other options? Some other the maybe newer technologies and modalities. So using cryotherapy, for instance. Last time I felt like I was maybe getting a fever several months ago. I tried to eradicate it with detox with sauna and sweating it out, and wasn't really having the results I was looking for. And so then I thought, you know what, I feel like my body core temperature is just too high. What can I do to bring it down? So I went to cryotherapy and did the 3-minute session. If you're not familiar with cryo, it's like a sub-zero freeze chamber, 3 minutes. You go into the cylinder and it blasts out free radicals and eradicates those damaged cells in your body to sort of restore your health. And it's also good for recovering from injuries and things of that matter too. But I found that to be very effective in bringing my core temperature down, and it helped boost my immune system, and I felt better after that. So that's an option as well. It's a quick fix, 3 minutes. Costs a little bit more than maybe taking some elderberry, but it is an option. And then also doing things like lifestyle practices like intermittent fasted or time restricted eating. So the thing about doing intermittent fasting is it gives your body's other functions, such as digestive and metabolic systems, a chance to rest. So when those functions are kind of getting a break, then those resources can go towards your immune system and the work it needs to do. And I've kind of likened it to like a factory where you have all these different functions, and one part of the factory can shut down and send its workers or send its resources to help another part. And in that situation, maybe then, those other functions that you give a break through time restricted eating or intermittent fasting, they can then contribute to the immune response, and gives your body a chance to detox and kind of go through some other cleansing processes. But that can be helpful as well in boosting the immune system. So the great thing is there's a lot of ways to attack it, and a lot of ways to go at it naturally as well without actually using traditional medicine. Obviously, that's a great part of it as well if you want to include that as part of a holistic treatment program. But those are some of the things we discussed today. If you guys have any more questions or want any feedback, or I would love to hear from you guys what your immune boosting practices are. Shoot me a message and let me know what you guys do to help out your immune system.